Good morning and welcome back to another episode. Now for this episode, I'm actually going to finally get around to doing something I wanted to do for a long time. But before I go into that with much more detail, I'm going to show you what the state of the workshop is because it's an absolute mess. But the SIL 80 is coming along rather nicely. I am over the moon with how the rocker cover has turned out and how it finally looks in the engine bay. It looks absolutely brilliant, just how I wanted it to. Now, this place is an absolute mess for the fact that I have been going through all of my stuff here and made a nice little list and put on eBay what I have here for sale. So I have various carbon bonnets in different conditions. I have lots of rubbish I need to get rid of. I need to also get all the parts that I have got for sale, like I say, the Defi gauges, the Perfect B boost controllers, other various Nissan parts for S bodies, R bodies, everything will be listed on eBay. But I need to get this cleaned off and out of here today. So this Skyline's out, this Skyline's out of here, all for the purpose that today I finally get the Supra in. So Supra is going to be in and we're going to start making some progress on this thing today. Maybe. But either way, this needs to go into the workshop today. Thoroughly looking forward to this. I've never done a Supra before, so this is something that has been on my bucket list for a long time now, and I'm finally going to get around to doing it. Happy days. So anyway, let's set the time lapse up, get the workshop cleaned up, and get this thing in. So there we have it for the first time in a long time. Skyline is out of here. That's surprisingly large. I forget how big this place is. We haven't got rubbish in the way. Ooh, look at that bad boy outside. I had to pluck up the courage to push this thing back in. Catch my breath and I'll get it in. Okay, but before we go into getting this thing inside, I thought I'd take you for a quick little walk around the Supra so you can actually see what we are playing with on this thing. Now, I brought this as a running driving car. I had to, as you know, borrow the flywheel from this so I can get my Verossa working properly. But yeah, this is what we have. It wasn't on these wheels either. Again, these are wheels that I had on my Verossa and I decided to put on the Supra because the wheels that were on there were absolutely disgusting and they made me feel a little bit sick. It did also at one point have the Velside front bumper, and again, that bumper should not be on a car. What is that? I quickly removed that because, quite frankly, I'd rather see it like this with no bumper on, all exposed and looking awful, than with the disgusting Velside bumper on there. My just personal taste on this one. As I look at the engine bay, you can see this thing is a mess. I mean, it is a real mess. Here we have the radiator mounting point there. We have the air temperature sensor there. Yep. And the rest of the car is pretty much like that. We had wiring. This wiring here was coming round, it wrapped around the radiator hose and then onto the battery. Not the best idea in the world. I shudder to think what else is going to be hidden on this thing. But in general, it doesn't seem that bad. Yes, it's rough, it's ready, but it has got plenty of potential. It seems to be rather solid and I'm happy with that. It has all new adjustable chain coilovers on it. The interior for the most part is there. I will get the keys in a second and show you guys the inside of this thing, but it's there pretty much. Someone had a go at doing some bodywork up here, so that needs to be dug out to see what horrors are hiding behind that. The number plate was screwed to the back bumper. I mean, it was off of there and just flapping down. So yeah, again, interesting with that one. Bumper is all kinds of, well, this was held on with cable ties. I started playing with it at one point because, again, this side was really hanging off, but I had to do something. I couldn't leave it alone. But in general, I am really excited to get on with this. This is one of those dream cars that I've been wanting to do for years and years, is to play with a Mark IV Supra. And this is the first one I've managed to do. The reason I've gone for this is because A, it was local, B, it was reasonably cheap for what a Supra is nowadays, and it's manual, stock manual, so everything was on there that could make this car great. We all know how much these engines can produce power-wise with not a lot of effort. I've got a bit of an interesting build with this, to be fair. This isn't my normal sort of thing. This isn't the sort of thing I would do. I'll go into more detail with that in another video, but yeah, this has got potential. This really has. Anyway, that's enough chit chat. I got my breath back, so let's get this thing inside. Mark IV Supra in the workshop, yo! Right, let's have a quick look at the interior before I start trying to play with this thing too much. It has a beautiful carbon effect. Wrap on the dash, which is just, yeah, that's coming off because it's just disgusting. Apart from that, the rest of the interior is actually pretty much complete and in good condition, minus the disgusting wrap. Things like the handbrake need to be changed. I'm pretty sure the steering wheel is going to get changed on this as well. Beep beep. Yeah, the seats are going to be changed as well for, I'm assuming, what's going to be Recaros in this. Again, I'm going to go into more details as to why that's a bit of a novelty on this. Also, for the more keen-eyed viewer, you would have seen that it has a intercooler on the front. Well, it's not actually an intercooler, it's an intercooler. It's not a turbo car. The guy who had this prior to me was going through the process of trying to do a turbo conversion on it. So he had things like the oil feed set up, ready to go. He done other bits and pieces as well. Nothing major, to be honest. It was very much a work in progress that he didn't really get finished. But yeah, he managed to get the intercooler on, which will come off and probably end up going in the bin, because quite frankly I don't want to run an intercooler which has been ran at some point in its life with the ends completely exposed. God knows what's going to be in there. I just don't want to run that risk. So new intercooler will go on there along with all new pipe and everything else, bits and pieces. That's if we go turbo. To be honest, I don't think we're going to, which I know is going to be strange, but again, I'll go into more details as to why that is going to be what it is in another video. I won't bother doing it for this one. But yeah, here he is. Mark IV Supra in the workshop. It's been a while since it's last been in here. Last time I drove in, and my God, I forgot how heavy these things are. I mean, I've ripped my shoulder up to pieces. That is what I've just done to my shoulder, pushing in the Supra. It's a heavy old car. So I'm glad it's here. I'm glad I can finally start work on getting this thing back to its former glory, because my God, it needs to get back there sooner rather than later. But I can't wait. I'm thoroughly enjoying the thought of getting on with this. I really am. Really am. So I'm glad I can crack on with this. I'm going to be doing both cars at the same time, because the problem with the CL80 is everything that's on there is all taking so much time, and there's only so much that you can sell a 180 for. Yeah, so I can quite frankly see myself end up keeping this CL80 for some time, as I'm absolutely loving it. I'm doing everything to my own personal spec, and it's going to be an absolute killer to see this thing drive away, so I can see me having it for some time, to be frank. So I'm thinking, okay, let's crack on with the Supra and start making some progress on this thing, because I've always wanted to do one, and this is going to be a fantastic car to sell once it's done. Again, it's going to be a heartbreaker because I'm going to build it to pretty much my spec, but it's necessary evil, I'm afraid. I can't stay afloat unless some of these cars go, and I can't keep them all. I've already got 2 Skylines, the Supra, the 180, the Verossa, the GT86. I can't keep them all. That is not how business works, unfortunately. I'd love to, but it just doesn't work that way. Now is the time to move more cars around that are outside and get everything reorganized and see what else I'm actually going to put back in here for the evening, whether it's going to be the silver Skyline or my white Skyline. I don't know which way it's going to go yet. We'll see how I feel and which cars I feel like pushing around. So time to debate that one. Must resist fitting parts I already have for this onto the car. Need to be sensible. Damn it. Didn't last long, did it? TRD spoiler. Yeah, boy. Awesome. In my opinion, probably one of the best spoilers for the Supra as a standard TRD looking spoiler. Love it. Absolutely love it. Right, now I really do need to stop playing around with this. I'm definitely not going to offer up the redox bumper. Definitely not. 100% not going to do it. Damn it. Much better. Now I really have got to stop playing with this. And it'd be a good time to end the video there. So don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. I'll see you next time.